Hello student, today we will start Kirchhoff's laws. Kirchhoff's extended Ohm's law to complicated circuits and give two laws which enable us to determine current in any part of electric circuit, equivalent resistance of a complicated circuit, potential difference between any 2 points of a circuit. Kirchhoff's first law or junction law or current law or KCL. Kirchhoff's first law is based on the law of conservation of charges. It states that the sum of all the currents entering any point or junction must be equal to the sum of all currents leaving that point or junction. Or in an electric circuit, the algebraic sum of currents at any junction is 0. That is, summation I is equal to 0. Sign convention for applying junction rule. First, the currents flowing towards the junction are taken as positive. Second, the currents flowing away from the junction are taken as negative. Consider a point or junction O in an electrical circuit. Let I1, I2, I3 be the currents entering the point O. I1, I2 and I3 entering at the point O, and I4 be the current leaving the point O. Leaving the point O, current I4. Then, according to Kirchhoff's first law, I1 plus I2 plus I3 is equal to I4, or we can write I1 plus I2 plus I3 minus I4 is equal to 0, or we can write summation I is equal to 0. It is first law. Next, second, Kirchhoff's second law or loop law or voltage law or KVL. It states that the algebraic sum of all voltage, that is potential difference across all elements, and EMFs of all sources in any closed electrical circuit is 0. That is, summation delta V is equal to 0. Thus, in an electric circuit, in each closed loop, algebraic sum of product of current flowing in different branches and their respective resistance is equal to the total EMF in that loop. That is, summation IR is equal to summation E. Sign convention for applying loop rule. First, we can take any direction clockwise or anti-clockwise as the direction of traversal. Second, in a given electric circuit, when a resistor R is traveled in the direction of the current I, and traversal direction of R both are same. The potential difference delta V across the resistor may be taken as negative. So delta V is equal to minus IR, and when a resistor R is traveled in the direction opposite to the direction of current I. Direction of current I in this direction means from B to A, and direction of R traversal opposite to I. Then potential difference delta V across the resistor may be taken as positive. So delta V is equal to plus IR. Third, in a given circuit, when a source of EMF E, say a cell, is traveled from negative to positive terminal, negative to positive terminal, the potential difference across the source may be taken as positive, means plus E. And when a source of EMF is traveled from positive to negative terminal, from positive to negative terminal, the potential difference across the source may be taken as negative. Example, first, find the value of electric current flowing in the circuit given in the figure using Kirchhoff laws. Solution: in this figure, first loop B, E, F, C, and second loop B, C, D, A. So at node C, here node C, according to Kirchhoff's first law, I1 plus I2 is equal to I3. It is equation first. Applying Kirchhoff's loop law in loop C, B, E, F. Loop C, B, E, F. So minus 4 I2. Here resistance 4, current I, the traversal direction in clockwise direction, it means direction in traversal in this direction, and I2 in this direction, means both in same direction. So minus 4 I2, next minus 14 from positive to negative, so minus 14 plus 6 I1. Here resistance 6, direction current in this branch, I1 in this direction, and traversal direction in this direction, both in opposite direction, so plus 6 I1. And in cell 10 volt, direction of traversal from positive to negative, so minus 10 is equal to 0, or we can write 6 I1 minus 4 I2 is equal to 24, or 3 I1 minus 2 I2 is equal to 12. It is equation 2. In a loop 2. In a loop 2 minus 2I3. Here in resistance 2, direction of traversal in this direction and direction of current I3 both same direction. So minus 2I3 plus 10. Here in this 10 volt cell, the direction of traversal from negative to positive. Okay, so plus 10 minus 6I1. Minus 6I1, the direction of traversal in this direction and current in this direction, both are in same direction. Okay, so minus 6I1 is equal to 0, or we can write 2I3 plus 6I1 is equal to 10. From equation first, we can write 2I1 plus I2 plus 6I1 is equal to 10, or we can write 8I1 plus 2I2 is equal to 10. It is equation third. Adding equation 2 and third, 3I1 minus 2I2 is equal to 12. 8I1 plus 2I2 is equal to 10. Cancel. 11I1 is equal to 22, or I1 is equal to 2 ampere. On putting value of I1 in equation 2, so 3 into 2 minus 2I1 is equal to 12, or 6 minus 2I1 is equal to 12, or 2I1 is equal to minus 6, or we can write I1 equal to minus 3 ampere. From equation first, I3 is equal to I1 plus I2. So 2 minus 3 equal to minus 1 ampere. Clear? Next, Wheatstone bridge. Wheatstone bridge is an arrangement of 4 resistors in the form of a bridge used for measuring one unknown resistor in terms of other 3 known resistors. Construction: 4 resistors PQRS are arranged in the form of a bridge as shown in the figure. A source of EMF is connected between point A and C. Between point A and C, a galvanometer is connected between point B and D. Unknown resistor can be in any of the 4 arms of the bridge P, Q, R and S. Usually resistors is put at C. Out of the 4 resistors, one is unknown and one is variable, and the other 2 can be standard resistors. Here R is variable, S is unknown and PQ standard resistors. Principle: when the plug is inserted in the key K2, here K2, The current I enters the network at point A, here point A, and a part I1 flows through resistor R. I1 flows through resistor R, and a part I2, here part I2 through resistance P. Okay, so I is equal to I1 plus I2 according to Kirchhoff first loop law. On pressing key K1, here K1, pressing key K1, suppose that current Ig, here Ig, flows through galvanometer G. If we suppose that point B is at higher potential than D, means VB is greater than VD. According to Kirchhoff's first law, current I2 minus Ig will flow through resistance Q. At point D, current Ig flowing through galvanometer G combined with current I1 flowing through resistance R, so that current I1 plus Ig passes through resistance S. Therefore, at point C, a net current according to Kirchhoff's first law, I2 minus Ig plus I1 plus Ig, that is I1 plus I2, that is I flows from point C to the negative pole of the cell. When key K1 is closed, the galvanometer shows the presence of current Ig through it. The value of a resistance, say R, is adjusted in such a way that the galvanometer shows no deflection, that is VB is equal to VD. At this stage, the potential at point B and D is equal, and hence no current flows through the galvanometer. The Wheatstone bridge at this stage is said to be balanced, and the ratio of P and Q is equal to the ratio of R and S, that is P upon Q is equal to R upon S, or S is equal to Q upon P into R. Knowing P, Q and R, the value of S can be calculated. Wheatstone bridge method is also known as null method. Proof. When key K1 is closed, the currents flowing in different arms of Wheatstone bridge are marked according to Kirchhoff's first law as shown in the figure. Applying Kirchhoff's loop law to closed loop A, B, D, A of the circuit, we get minus I2P minus Ig into G plus I1 into R is equal to 0. It is equation first. where G is the resistance of the galvanometer. Applying Kirchhoff's loop law to the closed loop BCDB of the circuit, we get minus I2 minus Ig into Q plus I1 plus Ig into S plus Ig into G is equal to 0. It is equation second. The resistance R is adjusted in such a way that point B and D are at the same potential, so that current Ig passing through the galvanometer is 0. It is indicated by 0 deflection in the galvanometer. The bridge is then said to be balanced. As there is no deflection in galvanometer on pressing key K1, that is Ig is equal to 0. In the equation first, putting Ig is equal to 0, we get minus I2P plus I1 into R is equal to 0, or I1 into R is equal to I2 into P, or I1 upon I2 is equal to P upon R. That is equation third. Also putting Ig equal to 0 in the equation 2, we get minus I2Q plus I1S is equal to 0, or I1 into S is equal to I2 into Q, or I1 upon I2 is equal to Q upon S. That is equation 4. From equation 3rd and 4, we get P upon R is equal to Q upon S, or P upon Q is equal to R upon S. It is the Wheatstone balance condition. That's all for today.